everybody, Tyrone TG3 here. Pokémon Style Horizons, episode 30. This episode is titled The Pokemon Behind the Sipping and Clanging. So, I decided to go ahead and do a review of this episode alone. Like I said in my last review, I was only going to do this one by itself. But as you all have noticed, I've had the habit of reviewing multiple episodes in conjunction. Because Horizons does this thing where a lot of episodes are connected to each other. Like the events of one episode will happen literally right after another. This is one of the few episodes that doesn't follow that lineup. But the next 3 episodes literally come one after another. Like their events come one after another. So episodes 31 through 33 are connected. And then we've got episode 34. And if you all notice, we're on episode 35 up to this point. Or at least by the time this rolls out, we'll be heading towards episode 35. So you're like, Tyrone, you're way behind. What has happened? Well, short answer, holiday. Long answer, holiday plus just a lot of other things I've been working on in the background, and then work, because most of y'all who don't know me know I have 2 jobs, and between those 2 jobs plus interaction with the others, streaming, which on Twitch, you can go watch that out, you'll see that I'm doing a lot all at once, especially towards the holidays, and work hours changed towards the holiday too. So I didn't have the freedom and the time that I've been able to have when I was reviewing earlier on. And obviously, I don't like excuses, so I didn't want to say it like that, but that's pretty much what has been going on. And I've also noticed, even not just with me, with just a lot of others, Pokemon Horizons is a series that literally, the pattern goes is that once you miss an episode, you miss a bunch of episodes, no matter if the episodes were good or bad. At least I've noticed that within the past few months. And again, you could chalk that up to the holidays and like everything that's been going on recently. But I've noticed, not just me, but a lot of PokeTubers, YouTubers, and just people watching the show in general, they dropped off around this point and had to play catch up, me included. After the holidays start winding down, I wound up watching a bunch of Pokemon Horizon episodes just to catch back up, because realistically, I was behind. Now, though, I am caught up. I've watched every last episode, and I told you I'm still going to review these in the way that I've decided to review it in this pattern. So I decided to review episode 31 by itself, but episode 30 and episode 31 all the way up to 33 will be reviewed together, because I think you all know what type of arc that was. Then episode 34 is more or less, I like to say episode 34 is another midway point episode, or at least a send-off point, because that's what it feels like. We get technically a little clip show in that one, but I don't want to move too far ahead. I want to talk about this episode. So, episode 30. This episode's actually pretty interesting, because I'm glad we got an episode like this. For as many Pokemon that are on the Brave Asagi as they are, it's weird to me that we haven't had a Pokemon episode up to this point. Like an episode literally based around the Pokemon themselves. And honestly, I think comedically, this is a really good episode too. Like there's just a lot of good, just really fast, realistic human jokes in there. Like for example, I like the joke where Dot goes in, looks in the refrigerator, and finds out there's no juice. So she just grabs the Smeargle. I mean, not the Smeargle. She grabs the Shuckle and just drinks straight from the shell. And she's like, what? Nothing's wrong from drinking from the jug. Like, she's that type of person. Dot just drinks straight from the jug, which is already horrible, but it's exclusively horrible in this situation. She just grabs the Shuckle and just chugs it into her mouth. Shit's fucking hilarious. So then Quaxly's like, bruh, stop. Like, why do you move in this direction? So she just pours the Shuckle in the glass. She's like, fine, since you want to be judgmental about it. So that's fun. I don't know. To me, that's extremely fun that we had a realistic human moment like that in Pokemon. I feel like we didn't get enough human moments like that, so it's good to see one. Fuecoco constantly slipping on the tea. That joke's whatever. Turns out in this episode, both Sinistea and Poltegeist are on the ship now too. And this isn't one where like one of the trainers catches a Pokemon. I guess Diana gets Sinistea, kinda. The show's kind of vague about it. I don't think she does. I think she just wanted to lure it into her teacup. And if you notice, it's an antique version. It's not a phony version. You can tell because there's one shot where you can see the mark on the bottom. So it's not a phony. It's an antique version, which that makes sense for Diana. So I hope she actually got the Pokemon. And it's weird, we actually get to see a Pokemon kind of give birth in this sense, because remember, Poltegeist pours tea, and if that tea is sentient, then it'll turn into Sinistea. So Poltegeist, the very same Poltegeist that was on the ship, kind of gave birth? Kind of? They don't really dig into it. But the running joke there is that every time Freed is about to like take a sip of tea, he winds up drinking Sinistea instead of the actual tea. Sinistea has nasty tea, while Poltegeist's tea is good, but it causes most humans to like wig out for a bit. Murdoch keeps drinking that tea, and that's the joke behind that one. So it's an interesting joke. It's a fun little running gag. It's harmless. And Poltegeist has a rivalry with Shuckle because they're both like drink-producing Pokemon. It's like, hey, this ship's only big enough for one drink-producing Pokemon. So Pikachu basically starts a fight club under the ship. Shit's fucking hilarious. Pikachu's like, bruh, just come down to the fight club and bring out your aggressions. So we got Poltegeist fighting Shuckle. And rather than Shuckle taking it super seriously, he's like, yo, I'm glad to be here, y'all. And then Shuckle like heads towards the fight. But because he's a turtle, he just travels extremely slowly. So we get this like, and then Poltegeist is like, bruh. And it's just silly. It's a very silly fight. I even love when like Dot drinks Shuckle straight from the shell, and Poltegeist looks and is like, bruh, what? Like, what is this? Why is this? Why is she moving in this direction? So yeah, I like that. Just little fun moments to have with the characters and how they operate. And again, the Pokemon needed an episode. One thing I think really messes this episode up, though, is Roy and Liko. More specifically, Liko. I like Liko and I like Roy, and I like that they discovered what happened. But I think the issue here is Roy is about to go like play with the rest of the Pokemon, and Liko goes, stop. This is the Pokemon's time. No, don't announce that. Don't do that. Like, no. I don't like when the characters blatantly point out what's happening. And that's what bugs me. It's because we know that. We as an audience member, we can see. We have eyes. And I know a lot of you are probably saying, well, she told that to Roy because Roy can't help himself. He wants to go play with the Pokemon. There's better ways to write that. I wish like Roy had been excited to go play with the Pokemon. Liko just stopped, nodded her head no, and then pointed at the Pokemon, and the Roy could be like, oh, they're having so much fun. I'd hate to ruin it. And then they all just watch from a distance, and the camera pans out from both of them and then cuts to the Pokemon playing. That would have been a lot better. It's a simple edit too, and it requires less dialogue. Or even have a moment where, I know it's uncharacteristic, but I would allow it for this situation. Roy's super tired. I mean, at this point in the story, it's happening late at night. So the Pokemon are all tired. And the people. Roy's like really tired. He doesn't want to stay up, but he's like joining. But then when Fuecoco goes to play with the rest of the Pokemon, instead of Roy joining, Liko looks at Roy and he's like dozing off. So then Liko like walks Roy to bed or something. Something to like get them out of that scene. I don't like that Liko goes, it's the Pokemon's time. Let them have their time without us. It would be like at the end of the Orla episode where she gets along with that one girl who likes to invent things. Liko at the end goes, that was Orla's character development episode. Like, you don't need to say that. Like, let the story tell us that. It feels so weird that she had to say that. I don't like that because you don't need it. Like, it's already weird enough that they're in the episode to begin with. This episode actually could have lasted without them. But I get that they're all on the same ship, so some form of communication had to happen. But for Liko to blatantly point out, oh, this is the Pokemon's time. Like, no, you ruined the immersion of the episode when you did that. Don't give away the direction of the episode. Just let the episode be. Let it be. The show knows which direction it wants. So just let it move naturally in that direction. When you point it out, that's when it fails. But other than that, I think the episode was really good. I liked everything about it. I liked that the next morning, Poltergeist and Sinistea become members of the ship. I just like all of that. It's great. Like I said, we needed an episode with just the Pokemon. That's good. Yeah, and it's great to see that, we have that. And we needed that pocket of air because we've had some pretty plot-heavy episodes recently, or at least episodes that dealt with interpersonal characters. So it's about time that we had an episode that specifically dealt with the characters just being, witness of the Pokemon and what they're doing. So that's good. But the next 3 episodes I'm going to be reviewing are episode 31, 32, and 33. Those episodes are titled The Song in the Mist, Lapras, Thoughts for Its Companions, and The Roaring Black Rayquaza. So, with that said, I will see you all then, everybody. Tyrone TG3, out.
Yeah, I'm happy because that was my animated.
I need to watch that. That's a bunch of anime. Yes! Yeah, we can't make it. Yeah, we're not Sonic. We're not. I come in with blue eyes. I got something for your blue eyes, boy.